What time is it? It's not Adventure Time, but it is Turtles time. I'm sorry for being late with this review. I've been busy. But here I am. I'm finally back. I've been wanting to do this since the middle of the week. I have to remember I have to do these reviews on the weekend when I see these things, because if I wait too long, I just won't do them during the weekdays. It technically is a weekday where I am right now. It's Friday, but yeah, it's pretty much the end of the weekend. I mean, it's almost midnight, so it's almost Saturday. So anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 2, Episode 14. Really great episode. Here's a non-spoiler review. It was a really good episode. It followed up very nicely from the previous one. It had a lot of good action. It was a lot of fun. We had nice moments with all the characters. It's good to see them do a lot of things, and we had some unexpected twists as well, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, overall it was a good, fun, and enjoyable episode, and the ending is really cool as well. I liked the ending, and even if I didn't. Well, I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, overall, very good episode, nice follow-up, and very interesting how they do sort of a dual stories kind of thing, because there's two stories in this. There's two different stories, and it's nice how they kind of go back and forth, and it feels a little disjointed, but it all meets up at the end. So anyway, here's the spoiler review. So this follows up from last week. Karai looks like she's about to kill the Turtles, or at least Mikey, Raph, and Leo, but Tiger Claw stops her. Splinter manages to throw a shuriken, cutting their ropes, and they go away. And Tiger Claw brings Splinter back to Shredder. I immediately kind of thought of the old 1990 Turtles movie, and I just broke my jeans. That's brilliant. But anyway, I thought of the 1990s Turtles movie and how they capture Splinter kind of nearest the beginning, and he's actually there for a long time. They have him prisoner for most of the movie, actually. And this is kind of similar. He's really weak. He's been drugged. Shredder wants to kill him, but then is convinced by Karai and Tiger Claw not to. Also, Karai might have some doubts. We see throughout this episode that Karai has doubts about her parentage. She's still with the Shredder, but she has doubts now. We'll see what we make of that. This could be pretty major in the future. So anyway, meanwhile, Donnie and Casey and April are wandering underground. They get chased by a giant worm. It looks like Casey's gotten eaten, and so they go back to that guy who they met earlier who knows all about the Krang. They talk with him. Turns out Salt actually beats these worms. Who would have thought? And they manage to get Casey out. Meanwhile, the other three turtles rendezvous back at the sewer, and they decide to go back for Splinter. Now, what's interesting here is Shredder says, "Call the Foot," and basically, what's really weird is he's already sent Bradford and Zevver out. When he says "Call the Foot," that's basically bringing them back in. Tiger Claw and Karai were already in there. Stockman comes in, and I think the Footbots are guarding the place. I just want to ask again, where are the regular Foot Clan? Did he fire them? You'd think the show would have an explanation for this, but they don't. So anyway, the other turtles come in and try to save Splinter. They head off. They manage to save him and head off, but Karai and Tiger Claw and Bradford and Zevver pursue. They have a big fight on the roof, and it's 3 against 4, but they manage to hold them off fairly well. Eventually, Donnie tries to close the portal that the Krang, which is how the Krang are bringing in these worms, where they milk them for mutagen. He manages to reverse the polarity. April climbs onto a worm. It comes up. It causes the fight to go a little crazy. And Tiger Claw, it's a little stupid because it almost looks like he flew in there on purpose. Gets eaten by the worm. Somebody reminded me in a YouTube comment about how that's kind of similar to Boba Fett getting eaten by the worm. Tiger Claw did a little more than Boba Fett. No, Tiger Claw did a lot more than Boba Fett. So much for him being second in command, but he's not dead as far as we know, so maybe we'll see him again. Who's Shredder's new second in command? I guess we'll find out later. So anyway, the worm goes into the hole and actually ends up, or one of the worms ends up in the 1986 Turtles dimension. Remember, we saw them previously? Dimension hopping is very easy in these universes. And then, actually, the Turtles, the 86 Turtles, are voiced by the 4 guys who did it during the 80s show. And they either go and fight, and the Turtles theme plays. I would like to see this 2003 Turtles make a cameo, and I would like to see Turtles Forever Part 2. I think that would be really cool to see with all 3 groups of Turtles, and with as many original voice actors as we can get. That would be really awesome. Both of those ideas. So anyway, overall thoughts, yeah, this was a fun episode. It nicely followed up. As I said, it was cool to see sort of the dual storylines happening, and it was actually kind of cool to see Casey and Donnie get along, but we'll see what happens there. Love triangle, and that's not a triangle. Love triangle. Dear, we'll see what happens. But yeah, great 2-parter. Is it the season finale? I wouldn't think so, but you never know. But like I said, great 2-parter. Nice episodes, lots of fun. Can't wait for the next one.